regarding to our projects over here, right? Do you have any questions? I believe that Mr. Dumni actually have been giving you guys some insight on those what we call that, some informations, right, okay, on the videos about the circus there, right? He said to me, okay, I had shared to all lectures, okay. So respectively, lecture can download your group students for comment to them during the practical class. I don't know what I mean there, okay, but I'm going to take a look back again later on then. All right. But what basically Mr. Dumni actually have been share with you guys today for our lecture class? Can anyone share with us, right? Anyone share that, right? All right, guys, open up your webcam for a while there. I want to see your face there for a while there, right? And we can close back again. All right, thank you. Okay, welcome to our week 5 there. Okay, this is week 5, right? Okay, we have another 2 weeks to complete our illustrations kind of work. Okay, please open up your webcam for a while there, right? So recording sessions over here, right? Thank you very much there, right? Okay, I know basically some of you guys have been submit those works there. Okay, submit those kind of works there, okay, previously. Okay, in our sessions there, right? Okay, so I've been taking a look, right, okay, on your works at the same time to develop your developments and your sketches as well there, right? Okay, so those are the things that I saw basically from your submissions. All right, so hopefully, right, okay, for today I can actually take a little bit more further, right, okay, on your submissions at the same times. Okay, and of course, okay, Cayenne, please prepare yourself. Okay, I want to see your improvement, your development from there. And the rest of you guys also, I'm going to call names. And if you check, look back again there, okay? Let me check, look back again. Okay, my kind of recall that my own submission for you guys there, okay? Basically based on my kind of what we call that channels that have been upload, okay, for last week's. Okay, if we check, look closely there, okay? For week 4, group 7 and group 2, if I'm not mistaken there, right? I actually have been upload one of the videos, which is I show you guys how actually I create kind of some of the coloring techniques there. Okay, some coloring techniques, okay, using lasso tools to work on that. Hopefully the rest of you guys will check look how actually I'm working on it. If you don't, basically there, right? This is some of the links. Make sure you take a look back again on the links there, right? This is one of the video actually have been shared there, right? The other one basically I've been working on there, okay, is all right. This one there, okay. I'm using also lassos, okay, to create some of the illustration and character design and coloring methods there based on those standard kind of brushes there, but not general brushes, but standard brushes there, okay, like charcoal pastels there, okay, and change some sort of like opacity a little bit there to work on that. And I actually have take a look also, have improvised also some of the ideas that this is basically based on one of the ideas from your friend there, okay. So I try to improvise them back and do developing those kind of sketches at the same time to work with it, okay. So this is basically one of the good examples that I actually can believe that you guys can actually learn also different kind of techniques to add those kind of coloring methods there to your skills, okay. So please take a look back again these videos later on, okay, in order for you guys to work on it, okay. And of course, guys, okay, one of the most critical kind of process there, okay, that you guys need to develop your kind of coloring methods in Photoshop for illustrations there, okay. It's all about how to balance up between the warm and cool colors. Okay, what do you mean by that? Do you guys know warm and cool colors there, right? Okay, no, okay. I saw basically we can actually have not down, okay. Basically, you guys know, okay, how to basically understand a little bit on what basically the meaning of warm and cool colors there. So the point is right now, you're going to experiment those kind of process of choosing those colors in the right way. Okay, that means you have to develop your creativities to work on it. Okay, So you have to basically, okay, that's why you need to have those kind of reference before you're going to work on that. Get some sort of ideas, some reference, some influence, some inspirations there, but not taking all these inspirations to copy them back into your own works that you just copy them there. Okay, we not actually just transfer those knowledge that you have to think creatively how to do works on that. Okay, but of course there's a lot of experimental to works on it in this 2-3 weeks time there. Okay, if those basically doesn't actually work on those illustrations, okay, efficiently there, okay, it's hard for you to develop that kind of color, kind of what we call that senses there, right? Okay, but you have to try them, okay, in order to make improvement on your skills there by yourself there, right? Okay, so do you have any questions before we're going to begin our classes over here regarding to your process of working, your coloring techniques, whatever that you have in mind? Basically, you don't know where to start there, okay? Anything else there, okay? You can ask me there right now before I'm going to ask each one of you guys about the progressions. Anything else? Diane, you have any questions there? Do you have any questions?
So far, no.
Are you sure? Normally, when people say they're okay, so far no questions, no problem, there are going to be problems later on when it comes to execute them. Normally, they're right. Okay.
Yeah, because now I cannot think of any questions. So if I have any questions, I will ask.
Normally, you don't ask there, okay? You just keep quiet there. Those are the things there, right? Huh? You always keep
Okay.
quiet there, right? Those are the things there, right? But you have those progress, right? On sketches.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. Anyone else there? Want to ask any questions? Anyone else have any questions? Come on, guys. So everyone are pro lah, okay? No need to ask any questions anymore, okay? Can do all this kind of work, okay, until week 7, right? Anyone know how to work on it, right?
Also, I have a question.
Who is it?
Me, Chen Chen. So,
Okay.
I have an
okay.
idea. I have a problem where I actually want my character to be cute but evil, but I don't know how to execute it correctly, because if I make it look too cute, it doesn't seem like there's a danger on it.
You the one who to create
The fox.
the fox, right?
Yeah.
Have you done other developments after we did?
I tried sketching out a bit different character sketches. I'll share my screen.
Okay, share your screen there first. Let me prepare also myself. Mine cannot recall that pages here. This is the one that you did, which is I create for you there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to keep the cute side, but I don't know if I should, like, how do I put this? I wanted to keep the cute side, but also give a hint of that this character is like evil. But I don't know like how to exactly execute it.
All right. First of all, okay, I'm going to show you guys, right, okay, how it works here. Okay, this is basically Chen Chen kind of works there, right? So let me resume back again. Thank you very much, Chen Chen.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And everyone have the question, have problems, guys. I'll show you, okay? Because to develop characters is not that easy. Okay, you thought easy, okay? Copy people works okay, like easy, right? But now you're actually going to develop basically your own ideas from there. I would say basically it's not that easy there, guys. Okay, it's a very hard kind of task there, right? So just like Chen Chen actually have that kind of question, it's not okay. First of all, the first thing that you understand, you need to understand, okay, the way that I actually produce my works there, okay, normally there, right, okay, I actually told you guys that before, and I'll show you guys how actually it works there, right, before there, right, okay. Normally there, guys, okay, what I did basically for myself, okay, whenever I don't have any ideas there, right, okay, the thing that I always do basically, okay, I will find some of those reference. Okay. Why basically we need to find reference there? Because this is how actually we're going to do some of our studies there, okay, based on other people's kind of process of working. Okay, it doesn't mean that we have to trace and draw the whole things for ourselves and make it into our own, okay, but we want to study how people did all these kind of ideas and design at the same times. Okay? Study other people's works but not copy from other people's work and made it to ourselves, right? We just trace them. Those are not basically one of the proper way for you guys to develop your understanding. Okay, so 5. All right, right here. All right, put into reference. Okay. All right. So whenever actually have a blank kind of ideas again, first of all, you have to make sure that you study first most of the characters that you have seen from other people's works, okay, and then take a look, okay, how actually people design those works there. And of course, from all these kind of informations, you need to understand one thing there, okay, when people design most of the characters there, okay, for example, like evil, you do this kind of research there, right? Evil, cute fox characters there, okay, for example, okay, try to find all these kind of, I'm not actually going to take a look only one single kind of genre of designer, okay? I'm not actually looking into manga only, okay? I will take a look all sort of information visually there, okay? Before that, I'm going to decide, okay? Like this one, for example, there, okay? All these kind of informations, basically, visual information there, okay? You can actually use as a part of your studies there to work on that. But of course, okay, from all the study that you have, if you have, don't only choose one or two lah. Right now, basically, I have less kind of time basically to show you guys basically, right, okay, all those process that I have to go through lah, right, okay, before I'm going to work with it. But if you have more time than me there, right, okay, I would say for you to get all these information there first, visually there. Okay, why? We have to study all these kind of elements there first. Okay? And of course, you have to design those characters from real reference. Okay, real reference there, right? This is only one of the example of how people design the characters that become anthropomorphism kind of element, what we call that object or elements there. That mean that the characters have the sense of human kind of behaviors, okay? Human kind of behaviors there. Now, the next job is going to be get the real photos of this fox there, right? Simple as that, okay? Get that kind of what we call the informations of that fox there, right? Okay, back again. Always get reference from the real reference there. Okay, after you get all informations like this, okay, for me basically, all right, okay, normally I'm going to collect more reference there, more reference to guide me, not only one or two there, guys, but A lot there, guys. Okay, before I'm going to decide. Okay, resume back. I cannot get those photos there. I don't know why. So I will take different there, right? Okay. Photos. Okay. Just as a part of my guide there, right? One more thing, okay. If you say that, okay, you want to create an evil but cute fox character, okay. When we study character design, normally there, right? Okay, we need to have this kind of sensors also. Okay. For examples, when you have all this information with you right now, first of all, when we design the characters, how actually you study them, right? Okay? Normally people study by drawing and tracing. But for me, and the proper kind of way, basically, right? Okay, we have to study the basic shapes there first. This is basically the proper way. See? The basic shapes of these characters there, right? That made the characters that it came from all these basic structures there. See, guys? This is how people study character design, not just trace them. This one from 3/4 view. Remember what we actually done that before, right? Okay? The line of actions when you draw the animals. This is triangles, or what we call that, triangle shapes. There. This one using the line of actions also at the same times. We break down there, right? There. Okay. Into different kind of multiple shapes there. This is how people study character design. Not just trace other people's works there, right? First of all, same goes to this one. When we try to draw them, right? We not try to draw the shapes like this. This is not studying there. This is tracing. Study, okay, what shapes basically have been developed from here? Circle, triangle, another triangles over here, there, right? There. This one also came from those triangles there, right? Basically. And then we cut them over there, right? Okay, and add more elements there, right? This one came from circles there, right? All right. The line of actions that create the poses for these characters over here, this came from the cylinders there, right? Remember what our basic structures kind of studies there. This came from cylinders that break down into those square there, right? And cylinders there, right? This one came from circles there, right? This one came from square, what we call that, cylinders. This is a cylinders over here. They're right. Take a look back again. How actually I develop. Okay, don't look at the complexity of those characters there first. Study all the structures over here before you're going to design them. Most people did not basically learn that kind of basic structures and basic kind of developments from here. They just draw directly from those references there. That's why you cannot design the characters efficiently, because you look into the holistic of those works there, okay? You not actually go into deep there. Even though there's a lot of reference, there's a lot of information nowadays to show how people design those characters, but you don't actually apply from there. And even though I show you guys before this how it works, you always take for granted that, guys. You just wait for some formal kind of information or formal kind of exercise that you need to be forced to work on that. Then you want to do those works there. Without basically some sort of efforts from yourself there, right? Okay? You won't be able to work on it. That's why you won't make it right there. Because you only look at the aesthetical beauty outside of the form from these characters. You not actually look into how they made it up there, okay? And of course, okay, one more thing there, okay? When we want to study all these elements together, okay, for example, like this one, okay, I will draw the characters not from drawing and tracing only, which is we actually have been done before. I will draw the characters based on the structures over here. See the structures over here, there, right? Look into all the structures form. Okay, this is the cylinders itself. Now, basically, right here, a circles, cylinders there, right here. See, this is how people draw, lah. Okay, you only a second semester there, right? Okay, this is the limbs there, okay, and the shapes of those legs there, okay. This one, line of actions, and we design those tail. You see how actually we draw the fox there, right? This is the proper way to develop your understanding on studying those characters. First, gestures line and the basic structures over here. Okay, this part basically, the nose, this is going to be the eye. Not basically the perfect drawings there. We not actually look into the perfect drawings there first. We want to study the whole structures before you're going to design them. It takes a lot of time there, guys. It takes a lot of efforts there. That's why people doesn't want to work on that. Why people always want to have a very shortcut way to work on that. There's no such thing you can have a shortcut way if you want to become a character designer. Okay? If you really want to become, if you ask yourself, okay, I'm a character designer, so you want to prod yourself, to brag yourself there, right? If you want to brag yourself that you can design the characters, don't basically trace from other people's work, but you study the basic form there first. This is basically one of the studies method that you have to understand before you go to design it. If you understand how it works like this one there, right? Example, if I want to design back again the characters there, no matter what personality of these characters, matter they're going to be evil or not there, right? First of all, design the basic shapes there first. See, am I actually do any kind of reference? Not yet, right? So what else there? Okay, the nose basically are going to be like this one, for example here. Now I want to design chibi characters there, right? You have to understand when you design chibi characters, they came from two different head there, right? Okay, two different head at least. So the body should be a little bit more. Cute characters, the body should be a little bit more. Okay, this is basically the head, initial measurement of the head basically there, right? Okay? But we're not going to use the head, the body look like fat like this lah. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because evil characters doesn't have to be look fat normally, okay? They're going to be look thin a little bit, like me. I'm evil there, okay? For example there, right? So I cut down into half of it, for example over here. So the body are going to be small a little bit there to make it more cuter there, right? Okay? And then these are going to be the pelvis, and they're going to be the legs there, right? See? Because I'm going to design these characters become have the sensibility of human being there, okay? That's why I call anthropomorphisms there, okay? Anthropomorphic there, okay? Anthropomorphic there, right? Okay? Kind of characters or creatures there, right? So right now, the hand there, okay? How to measure the hand? Normally, the hand should be a little bit more like this. Okay, it's going to be cover basically the pelvis there, okay? There. Now, I got the basic structures of this fox, okay? They're going to be the tail there, right? Okay. And now, basically, the eyes there, okay? The eyes, okay? Where the measurement of the eyes? Maybe you're going to be right here. So what you're going to do, I'm going to cut the shapes over here there first. These are going to be the nose, and these are going to be those faces. I cut the faces back again. All this thing is basically your guideline before you're going to reconstruct back again your ideas there. See? So I cut the shapes over here. The eyes become a bit more like this one there, okay? Not like this one there, okay? Some people try to draw this kind of eyes there, okay? It's very kind of not appealing enough for those design, okay? Or you can actually design the eyes using the human kind of eyes at the same time if you want to. Okay? Depending on, okay, how actually you're going to work. All this kind of knowledge, even though we cannot actually go through in details there, okay, but you can actually discover later on, okay. But I give you guys some general, some basics kind of understanding how actually you're going to move on into the next step there, okay. From here, of course, it came with the creativity, sir. So I do some reference, some research over here. They're back again. Now I will take a look. Okay, maybe I'm going to design those characters look like this one a bit. I'm using some of the elements that I saw from my reference there, but it doesn't mean okay, the what we call that fox. Normally, those ears are going to be a bit more bigger there, right? See, now basically those eyes. Okay. So how actually I'm going to design those eyes there. There, right? Is going to be the mouth there, right? From front view there, right? Okay. One of the critical and crucial kind of time there, right? Okay. To design character from front view, everyone can design there, right? Okay. When it comes to start profile, three-quarter view, they are going to be your challenge there. Okay, right now I have basically those characters kind of what we call that. This character kind of what we call that look and feels there, okay, at the moments. See, so I didn't actually manage to what we call that decide the gender of these characters there yet. So basically the body type of these characters, okay, I will draw basically these characters in a naked kind of shapes there first. Okay, the hands basically to design the hands also one more thing there, okay. Now I'm going to design the leg there, right? Simple kind of shapes of legs there. Okay. And of course the tails. Yeah, right. So basically I had this kind of designer, okay. From here, then I will go through another layers. Maybe I'm going to design a different colors over here. Okay. Now, how actually I draw those wardrobe or those what we call that costume there, okay? The costume of those circus, for example, okay, is wearing maybe a hat, for example. Okay. What else there? He's wearing a bow. The face look evil there, right? But still cute there. And then he's wearing basically those there. Those what we call that, the suit there, right? Okay. But because of animals, okay, maybe I can actually make it this one look more naked, or you actually can just draw basically he's wearing a boots, and of course, okay, he's wearing a pants there, right? Basically, we had all these elements together from here. This is how actually one of the way, not the only way, for you to develop your kind of ideas there. Not just try to draw the whole thing, look finishing there first, right? Okay. What basically Chen Chen have done is almost right, but the thing is, you're not actually studying the characters back again into the human behaviors there, and you not actually study properly some of the features from those folks that before going to work on that. And one more thing that I can always do normally, I will basically, okay, let's just say this one, okay? I have the sample of these characters over here. I can actually, if I don't have any ideas there, guys, I always go through with this kind of liquify. Then I will try to design the characters according to what some computers features can make for me directly. I can actually design the character with this kind of what we call that. Just get some ideas there first, like how it's actually going to be worked there. For example, here I'm going to improvise later on there, right? Okay, maybe those features of this fox, okay, adjust a little bit. And then what else there? I'm using this bloated, the eyes more bigger there. Adjust back again. Okay. See, if I don't have any ideas, right, I will basically use this kind of methods to experiment first with my kind of design there, right? Okay. Sometimes we can actually use them, right? Okay. If from here, I just show you guys how actually I develop those ideas. So right now, what I can do, I can actually improvise based on those reference there, right? There. Okay. So we don't have to just trace the whole thing. I'm not actually asking you to trace the whole thing there. No? The eyes, the nose, all right, from here, and then those evil smile, and there's going to be those fangs over there, right? Now what I can do, I can select this part there, right? Copy paste right here. I'm going to flip there, right? See? So I get those kind of more kind of what we call it accurate this kind of part there, right? Get this part there, right? That's it. Human eyes big there, right? Can also apply there with those ideas there. From here, I can actually use the same bodies there to works if I want to. I can redraw my own body if I want to there, right? Okay. This is basically how it works, right? Okay. This is one of the way. I will draw basically the eyebrows a little bit. If I want to make it a bit more like a women or female, I just draw those. Suggestion, those eyelash there, right? Okay. And then he's wearing basically those. Okay, if you have that kind of skills there to draw directly, like, okay, you can draw directly like this one, right? The female, kind of what we call that. Okay. And one of the reasons I draw like this one already, because I want to measure basically those size of these characters that face. Okay. That's why we have this kind of what we call model sheets there, right? So the body, the legs, right? Bit more simplified there, okay? Because I don't have to basically do a lot of what we call that. If I want to cut the okay, the legs from side profiles, for example, like this one, these are going to be the side profile of those legs there. I can actually add some of the detail if I want to there, okay? Depending on the methods of working there. So what else there? So the tails. So the lady fox, the tail are going to be a bit more bigger, right? Okay. Maybe because I want to make some sexiness on it, right? Okay? The tails there. See? Normally when we design the characters from this part, it's not that hard there. When it comes to 3/4 view or side profiles, they're going to be different there, okay, to work on that. So basically, if you really want to develop your kind of understanding, I would suggest for you to work with those kind of understand the basic structure there. Study the basic structure there first until you get it right, and then try to design also some ideas like this one there, okay, to work with it. Okay, Chen Chen? You understand
Okay.
that, right?
Yeah, understand.
Okay, so good luck, okay, with your kind of developments right here there, guys. Okay, so that's basically okay. Design characters is not that kind of like some easy test there. A lot of people always start making script, take a look, a copy from other people's works, you can become character designers. That's a BS there, okay? So you really want to design a good character designers, become a good character designers, try to improve your skills there first, all right? That's going to be there. So the methods that I show you guys today is one of the methods that you guys can use in order for you to develop your kind of understanding there and develop your kind of creativities at the same times. And of course, I also been research, okay, other people's kind of works there, okay, before I'm going to design my characters there. I'm not saying that I just take it everything from out of nowhere there, okay, to works on that. I always use some reference that works, inspirations there, okay. But after that, we develop into our own way. Okay, to design characters from front view, everyone can become champion. Okay, now side profiles. How to design from side profile? They make the same kind of what we call that characters there. It's not that easy there, guys. Okay, so I will start with these basic shapes over here first. Okay, cut them up over here, and then I'm going to eyes. Okay, from side profile, I cut this part there, right? Okay, from front, cut this part for the left, right side. Okay, and these are going to be the nose. It takes some experience and also proper kind of methods like to work like that. Okay, this is side profiles, basically of these characters there. Side profile of these characters there, right? Okay, and the body itself, okay, the neck, the body itself there, because she's basically a woman there, right? A lady is a female there. There, side profiles there. So the tails from 2D perspective there, right, can be improved, can be improvised there, right? These are going to be the hands, okay? So can you see the guys, the balance, okay? Balance between the hands, the head, okay? Roughly, basically, okay? Roughly, right? Okay? From those head and toes, okay? Eyes, the nose itself, okay? All these measurements need to develop properly, basically, if you learn character design, right? But we actually have different kind of purpose there, but I have to cover also character design kind of works at the same time to develop your kind of understanding over here. Okay, that's basically the things that we have to go through. Side profiles, three quarters, what we call that side profiles, front view, and the critical kind of process is to define those three-quarter view, okay, for the characters there. Okay, it's not easy, they guys get to work on that. But of course, from this more practice, more kind of understanding of analogy of those what we call the shapes and structures there, you will basically develop your kind of understanding, okay, to work on that. Okay, we cannot actually go and cover the whole things for what we call that session solely there, right? Okay, to move on that. So character design has to be developed in specific kind of process there, okay? Specific kind of processes, specific kind of what we call that methods of working there. So this is one of those basically kind of what we call that structures of those character design, okay? From three quarters, side, front view and side profiles there, okay? To design also all these characters in the complexity there, right? Okay, you need to have another kind of sessions that basically just focus on how to design characters there. But of course, when you want to design characters, one of the most important way to understand when you draw from circles there, right? Like this one. Okay, let's just say you cover basically, okay, this is basically those characters from side profiles there. From three-quarter view, basically, the eyes are going to be put a little bit because this is a more closer there, okay? This one a bit more smaller, this is going to be a bit more bigger a bit there, okay? From side profiles there, normally this part basically going to be a little bit more oval, a bit more like this. Okay, oval there, okay? So this is how actually people actually think three-dimensionally how to design those characters. Even though the circle is not basically quite very accurate at basically what I draw there, okay? But this is something that you need to understand that first how it works. To design characters, don't basically just try to draw all these complex characters like this first. Try to design a simple character like this, and you actually work on it first. And when you design those lines, okay, can you get basically those kind of proper kind of proportions there. Okay, from here, and the line drawing that you produce, can you get a very confident line? That show basically the way that I produce those lines right now. All these things will basically matters there, guys. Okay, when you want to develop your kind of character design there. All right. If you don't have that kind of understandings, it's hard for you guys to work with it. Okay, it's hard for you to work with it there, right? Okay, this one basically came from week 5. Okay, 7 sketches for session 1, week 5. All right, character design there, right? Okay. So from here, okay, let me check. Select all, copy. I just want to send it right. Okay. So all these things basically really important there, guys. Okay, before you're going to go through more and more further, right? Okay, on your kind of understanding there. That's why take serious when you come to design your characters kind of works there, right? And of course, okay, this is one of the first start, right? Okay, I also start from lousy kind of way to work on it, and hopefully you guys can actually develop more further later on there. Okay, so Chen, hopefully you have developed that kind of understanding there, okay, and start to work on that, right? Okay? If you're really interested to design characters there in the futures, try to study from this part there, okay, and then you develop more and more further from there. I think from my demonstrations, okay, from my videos there basically, right, okay, previously there, right, I have done also some of those character design kind of videos there. So you guys can check a look, right, okay, back again, right, okay, if you have time basically, right, okay, try to look into some of the videos that actually have been created before, okay, how to design those characters there from scratch, all right, okay, for animations. So it will help there, okay, for you to work on it. But of course, okay, this is one of it, okay, this is one of the videos there. But of course, okay, all these kind of videos there, okay, all these kind of methods there, okay, is not enough there, right? If you don't actually test and develop your kind of way of working there, right? Okay? So to design characters is not that quite very simple kind of task there. You need to basically work hard there, right? Okay? At the same time, learn to work smart from that kind of process to develop more kind of accessible and appealing kind of characters there. My way of working from this part, basically, okay, I start to develop and try to simplify more on my design because it's easy for me to animate them to move around those characters in the future there. So guys, okay, try to work on that. All right. All right, Kayan, can we see basically your kind of idea developments there? Are you ready there, right, Kayan? Chen, how is it? Is it helpful for you to work on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
very helpful.
Start to work on that, right?
Okay.
And the rest of it, guys, if you really want to start to develop your sketches, please basically, right, okay? To develop basically your, what we call that, drawing skills there, okay? Drawing skills is really important there to work on that, okay? So how is it, Kayan? I can see your screen. All right, looks good there. I know basically you can draw that Cayenne, right? Okay? Even though you draw a copy from other reference, right? Okay? I want to see more. Okay, yes, good compositions there. All right, for the rest of you guys, okay, I want you guys to know that, right? Okay, Cayenne basically is the female there, right? Okay? So hopefully these semesters we want to see Cayenne actually can be passed on the subjects there. It doesn't mean that I don't want to see Cayenne more on the another subject, right? Okay, that she actually are going to be work on it, right? Okay, but hopefully she can pass for these semesters there, okay, and pass with China, Cheyenne. Okay, we want to see from there. All right, because I don't want you to repeat more subjects, okay, more kind of the same subject there, okay. It's a good kind of development. So can you show us basically those reference? Where do you get all these
Reference.
ideas from? Okay, reference, inspirations, all right, research. Where is it there? You have to forgive me for a while, guys. Okay, I have to do some light kind of exercise on my shoulders there because I have I'm not swollen but pain kind of shoulders because I've missed out my kind of way of doing some exercise in the wrong way basically there, right? Okay. So how is it there?
Mm,
Where is it the reference? Can you actually show us basically right in details where do you get all these ideas from?
hold on.
Hmm. Have you done any coloring method in Photoshop there before? Other than we did basically for our subjects there previously. Just go through run through basically, okay, as quick as you can. Okay, oh, this is some of the reference there. Okay, okay, yeah, guys. Okay, if you seems doesn't have that kind of ability to design your characters from scratch there, okay, I would suggest for this kind of what we call that particular kind of assignments, just use actual reference and compose them back and start to study your coloring methods there, guys. Okay, that's basically one of the best way at the moments there, okay, because to design characters it takes a lot of times unless you actually have get used to design those characters there before. Maybe it's going to be easy for you to work on that. Okay, all right, this is the reference. Thank you, Kayan. Okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
you want to show us how actually you develop that kind of shape and shadows basically before you add those detailing coloring. You want to demonstrate a little bit using those grayscale kind of tone there first.
I'll try. I'll use this to try.
This one, can you add another elements on the bottom right?
On the bottom,
Yeah, left and right. Okay.
the stage.
Right. The stage there, okay. Maybe you can add another animals there. Maybe the same element do the same thing, but you just put some balance if you want to work smart lah. Okay, not doing work two times, okay, twice, okay. You just create one elements, for example, like a seal maybe holding a ball or holding some of the things there, okay. Dog there, right? Okay. From
okay.
so using left and right the same animals, you just duplicate there, okay, to make it more balanced for your composition. It can be okay.
Okay.
You understand what I mean there?
Yes.
Okay, good, there, right, Kayan. All right, thank you very much, Kayan, for your sharing. You want to share your shadowing kind of methods, right?
Yeah.
Using soft brushes. Okay, to add some
Soft
shadings,
brushes.
you can use soft brushes and reduce the opacity directly of nose. Okay, to add some shadings for those shadows there first, okay? Because this process, guys, is important for you to understand where basically the source of light is before you add some detailing there. What type of brushes that you use here?
Soft round.
Soft, round, pencil hard brushes.
Eh.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
Well, basically your pressure, right? Your pressure, tone, and opacity. So at the bottom there, right?
Yes.
Normally I didn't change opacities, but I changed the tone as well. Right? Okay, depending there. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, take a look there. Okay. One of the best way for you to develop and get a mood when you want to add some coloring methods into the work. Okay, you can use soft brushes to add some shadows there first. Grayscale kind of tones before you're going to add some coloring methods to work on that. All right. Okay. Waveforms there, right? Why you have to change that waveform there, right? Can you share with us later on, okay? Why you have to change your animals there? Your animals doesn't work right for you. Why? Can you share your screen there, okay, later on? I want to see, okay, what's the problem with your character, with your animals there? All right, continue work on it, right, Kayan, okay? Don't stop there, right, okay? Before the little ones, okay, at your house, in your house, where you're going to be disturb you, okay? Just complete there, okay? Until we complete our sessions for together, okay? Then you actually can get more progression from there that you can share with us later on there, okay? And don't forget to submit also inside our Google Classroom there, Kayan. I want to see your progressions there. All right, Kayan?
I submitted.
Yeah?
I submitted already.
You have submitted, right? Okay, thank you very much
Yes.
there, okay? And this one basically just shows some progressions there, right, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you very much, Kayan, okay, for your demonstrations over here. All right, Wei Kong,
Okay,
share your
welcome,
screen.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much there, okay? Share your screen, Wei Kong. I want to see your kind of inquiries, your kind of worriness on it.
Basically, I just changed the animal. Yeah.
Where is it?
Uh,
Oh, this is the one there, right? Huh?
yeah. So I yesterday I worked on
Why you changed there, right?
having trouble to draw the scale stuff. Yeah. I think.
Now you know basically the difficulty there, okay? I have also those difficulty there, okay? When I design these characters there before, because there's not enough reference. I spent almost around 1 or 2 months basically to develop some ideas from the sketches that you saw basically before this. All right, okay, you can change there, right, okay? They'll spangle into what character that you want to change there?
Red deer. Yeah.
Or reindeer there, right?
The
Okay, it can be. It can be there, okay? Why you choose reindeer there, right?
I think
Is the reindeer basically has some
yeah this
okay. Is the deer there, right? The red deer
yeah
there, right? Huh? Can there, right? Maybe they're right, okay, you can work on that. Normally, right, okay, reindeers or red deers basically people always portray as a devil there, right? Okay, as a devil there. Okay, or as a mystic kind of creatures there, right? Huh? You want to make some of, if you can make some of the mystical kind of appearance of these animals into the circus kind of acts, a bit more better, right? If you saw some of those Japanese anime there, right, okay, they has that kind of these kind of uh, elements of mystical there, okay, of this red
something
deer
like
there, okay. Those are the things that normally there, okay. One of your sketches, this one is quite okay, right, okay, quite very good for the progressions, okay. But I would suggest for you to add more elements from here, lah. Okay, more element from here. And of course, this red deer look like a cow there, okay, rather than
yeah.
yeah, all right, okay. I
Oh,
thought
okay.
basically it's a goat, just know that, right? Huh? So make sure you redesign carefully back again from your reference, the actual reference, and then you try to apply them back there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you very much there.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else want to share screen?
Sir, can I see your screen?
Yeah, can, all right, get you ready.
Sir, can see this
Yep.
my develop.
Okay, this is one of the ideas lah.
Yes.
Where do you
Here.
get those parrot kind of what we call the reference there?
Reference.
Hmm.
My reference is a rabbit, but I changed to be a parrot. Then the rabbit on the top side.
Okay. From rabbit lah, this one lah.
Yeah. I changed to the parrot and
This
changed
one,
the
right?
rabbit.
How actually you change them again? Do you draw from your reference? Do you draw from reference?
reference from the parrot.
Oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks okay, but on the composition itself, maybe the design you can actually improve in the futures there, okay? A bit kind of like very normal, okay? Then people design the characters like this one, okay, at the first stage there, okay? But be careful also with the proportions at the same time to work on that, okay? And if you can exaggerate a little bit more further, it's more better, okay, on the character there. But this is one of the composition, right? You have another one there?
Yes. This is my second,
Okay.
and this is a thumbnail, but I know I still in doing the process
Okay.
develop.
Mhm. Why actually you use basically landscape rather than just now in the first one you're using portrait, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I other thumbnail.
Mhm.
This is my other thumbnail.
Okay.
It's a elephant. Then this is they also a thumbnail.
Mhm. One more thing, guys. Okay. From this stage, as a students, if you can detail up your sketches and then you submit them later on, okay, it's more better, okay. Don't just take for granted with all your sketches there. Please actually draw as detailed as you can for your sketches there. It's for your own portfolio. It's not for me there, right? Okay. If you have a very good detailed kind of sketches for you to use as a part of your way of developing your ideas in the early stage, okay, later on in the futures, you will have this kind of very good discipline of developing your ideas in detail before you're going to work your final design there. It's very good for your portfolios and not for me there basically there, okay? People always love to see sketches there, okay, other than the final works sometimes there, okay? So try to work on that.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
If you have a proper sketches, go for it there, guys. Okay. Because I did also do the same thing, okay, to demonstrate to you guys over here there, okay. I give also some proper kind of sketches for you guys to see. Right, this one there, right?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome there. Anyone else? Anyone else there? Anyone else want to share screen there, right? Chushi? Kaman? Janie? Anyone else? Junbin? Helvin? Anyone want to share screen on your developments works? Rather than just what we call that, take a look at those works from here. What we can saw from Sushi over here, okay, is only a rough sketches there, right? I want to see you construct into more details there, Sushi. Can you see from here? There's a lot of good reference that we have seen from these inspirations of your research there, right? Hopefully you can add more detailing on your sketches later on there, okay, Sushi?
5 of these.
What is it there, right?
5 of these sketches. To
5 of these, right? Which one basically you're going to work on that?
Only choose one to make the details.
Mhm.
Mm.
Have you done those kind of details?
Not yet, but on the way.
Work on it, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else there? Why you guys were quite quiet there, okay? Normally you're quite noisy there, okay? Huh? Why you guys quite quiet there, okay? Quite silent there, okay, today. Anyone else, okay? Zhen Xiong is here. Zhen Xiong, you want to share your screen there, right?
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Please share your screen there. I've seen that you have developed a few number kind of sketches there, right? But I would suggest, okay, this one, the number 4 there, okay? This bear basically look like a cartoon styles that you actually have been traced from other people's works. Please don't do those kind of things there. Please don't copy from other people's works there, guys. Okay? Don't copy from other people's work. This is only a 2 sketches only there, okay? I need 5, Zhenjiang. All right? This is a lazy kind of what we call that development that I saw from you there, okay?
All right.
So do you have any extra kind of works from here?
From now, no.
Work on it there, right? Okay, work on it there, right?
All right.
This is basically a years back there, okay? How actually it works, okay? It's look weird, okay, to see back again myself there, okay? On the 1 year there, okay? From the pandemic that we have. Check look there, guys, okay? This video basically I show some of those detailings there, even though the characters is not basically quite properly have done there, okay? But I show you guys basically how actually you're going to develop properly all those design there, okay? So I'm not actually going to be into anime or manga styles okay, only for your works, but I want to show some diversified kind of ideas from there. Because I don't want you guys just kept down into other people's kind of styles that okay, to develop your work. Okay? You need to find also your own kind of language to develop your character design there, okay? But of course, you can copy from other people's works there, okay? But don't just become someone else there when you design your characters there, okay? But of course, okay, one of the most important thing is try to develop your proper kind of understanding to control your kind of skills there, okay? Draw in a more confident kind of way in order to develop your gestures kind of line and poses that face. Okay, you don't have to clean up the line all the time there, okay? When I design all these characters there, okay, I design all the basic structures that face towards on it. This is one of the way, one of the method you guys can go through with it. What else there? I did also study, okay, so do some sort of like study on other people's characters or design that I get from here, if I'm not mistaken there, right? Okay. How to get started with it there, right? All this kind of understanding that okay, to works on it. So please go through with it there. Anyone else want to share screen? Anyone else want to share screen there? So we saw basically Zhen Qiong over here. I would say that, okay, Zhen Qiong, try to draw from real photos lah. Okay. Instead, you just design. This one basically came from other people's characters. I know basically the parrot also, right? I saw basically this character there before. Don't just cheat yourself there, right? Okay. If you try to draw from other people's works, I'm going to be sure you guys, I will give a very lowest mark from there. Okay. So one of the best way for you guys to execute, if you cannot design properly your characters using my kind of studies like this one first, draw from the real photos there and compose them back using the method that I actually have shown you guys for the last semesters there, okay, to work with it there first. Okay, don't try to be smart ass basically, okay, that you thought you can copy from other people's works, that you can get more good marks from there. You won't be able to get a good mark from it unless you can actually design yourself there to work on it. Okay. So you guys understood that, right? Okay, make sure they're right, okay? Make sure you work on that. Because when I actually design these characters there, okay, even though I have this reference with me, but I didn't actually use them to guide me to develop or copy other people. I just draw from scratch back again, but I use some sort of, I refer some of those, what you call that, the hair kind of shapes there, okay? But I didn't copy directly there, right? That's the thing, like I didn't copy directly that works on that, okay? I try to work on myself there to develop my kind of understanding there. From here, there's a lot of things also we can go through, okay? From here there, right? For examples, I want to design back again. Okay, let's just say that, right? So I'm going to design back again as characters over here. What else there, right? Okay, sketch lah. This is a rough sketch there, okay? Now, maybe, okay, these are going to be those nose, right? These are going to be the eyes. See? So if you can actually sketch like me, like this one there, right? Then you actually can design your characters more efficiently. See? I didn't have to basically to refer there, right? There, see? So now the hat, okay, just draw the hat over here, small hat, right? First. Because all these things came from, okay, the what we call it, the body. We'll draw basically the bow a bit more bigger, right? So take a look over here. Okay. Now the hand. Okay. He's wearing the, okay, now. Those tails there, right? Okay. Guys, if you can design the characters like this one without any reference, while I've done just now there, right? Then you can call yourself a character designer. Okay, see? Am I actually refer any reference? No, right? The design look appealing there, right? Look cute here, right? I'm not actually trying to brag there, okay? But this is the reality there, guys. And add some detailings on my reference there. So maybe I'm going to design a bit more like this one, okay? See? It's all about how well you practice yourself there, guys. Okay? It's all about practicing there, right? So I practiced myself for so many years that works on that. But even though I practiced myself there, okay? I still had different kind of what we call that obstacles. I'm not saying that everything that I draw basically are going to be great there, okay, all the times. Okay? Okay? I'm not saying that everything that I draw basically are going to be great all the time there, okay? But I also have certain kind of obstacles that to work on it, okay? It's one, what I see, okay? From here, I draw basically those eyes there back again. And then these are going to be those nose there. These are going to be those head. Even though I know basically there's a lot of things that I have to cover there, okay? But at the moment, this is only the sketches for me there, okay, to work on that. Okay, bow. Now basically those legs. These are going to be the tail. See? These are going to be those hands. All right? Side profiles there. Okay, roughly there, okay, roughly those design there, okay, roughly there, okay. It's not basically a finished kind of works, because in the process to develop those kind of design, there has to become also with a lot of different kind of way to approach and to refine back again the characters there. But this is only a beginning of the process, how actually you can get more ideas from your design there, okay. Talk about chibi characters, this is bottom. I try to make a super deformed, chibi, simplified, stylized kind of characters that look more cute, look more evil at the same time there, right? Okay. All right, guys. Can you see those kind of reference over here? Hopefully, basically, right, okay, the screen are going to be opened up, okay, because I'm afraid sometimes my demonstration they don't actually look at it, right? You cannot see those kind of demos there, okay, from there, from the recording sessions, right? Right, can you see that, guys? Even though the head can be a bit more smaller later on, okay, this is only a rough sketches, okay? There's a lot of things we have to improvise from here. It's not basically a finishing kind of works there, right? Okay, that actually take a look on it. So hopefully this kind of insight, kind of methods of working will give you more kind of understanding there. When we want to design the characters, don't take it easy there, guys. Okay, don't take it easy there, guys. There has a very serious kind of developments from time to time if you want to become a very good character designer there, right? From here, okay, for examples, I want to design those, okay, without any sketches, right, at the moment. Understand the whole structures that fits. One, two, three, there. Okay. These are going to be the head. Okay, the head are going to be designed later on there, right? Oops. Copy this one there first. We paste for those front view. Edit, transform, flip horizontals there. So this part I can actually delete there, okay, first. Okay. Okay. So the head itself. Now the bow tie, the bigger bow tie, okay, exaggerate a little bit. And then the legs there, right? There. This is going to be the tail there, right? There. Okay. Now from here, move to design, combine directly. Okay. From these basic characters, I can design those characters from those shapes there. But, oops, sorry, not this one. But it's put it right here. Like that. See? So this is all about it, right? When you design the character, that how much time that you spend, okay, to work on that. It's all about experience. It's all about your kind of skills there, where you need to develop from time to time there. Okay, I take basically okay, more than 15 years, like 25 years to develop my skills there. You have around 7 weeks there, okay, and you draw rarely basically, okay, to work on that. So it's all up to you guys, okay, how actually you develop kind of skills there. You want to have this kind of skills, you want to improve more, you have to develop and draw more from now on there, okay, to work on it. Okay, so work on it, and I'll see you guys on the next sessions later on. Okay. Take a look over here. Make it direct. Save as. Oh, because I actually opened up those files there. Put this file reference. Right. So good luck with your development kind of works there, guys. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I will leave you guys at the moments there, okay, to develop more further on your ideas there, right? Okay. And I see you guys on our next sessions. All right, next sessions basically. All right, okay, in a few days there, okay, to work on that. All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day, and of course, again, good luck with your works at the same times. Okay, we leave a little bit. Okay, I want to give you guys a little more time for you to develop more on your ideas from here. These guys, okay, to work on that. All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a good day, and good luck. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.